Okay, so hello and welcome to yet another reaction video. Today, reacting to Dan Kieft, his video on Seedance 1 Pro. Apparently, by the title, it destroys VEO3. I did a video a couple weeks ago reacting to VEO3. It was pretty good. So, looking forward to see how Seedance kind of performs versus the Google version. I believe Seedance, though, is kind of a Chinese AI. I don't know if it's kind of a bit too conspirationist of thinking that I wouldn't really like to use a Chinese AI just for a data thing. But hey, we'll see how it stacks up. If it's that much better, it may be worth using it. Have the white monster here so that I'm caffeinated up for you guys. Subscribe down below, okay? 1,000 subs by the end of July. If you've watched the video up until this point, just hit the subscribe button. Put a bunch of effort into these videos for you. So subscribe to Dan Kieft as well. Super worth it. And without further ado, let's get right into it.
Seedance might be one of the best AI video generators that is currently out there. For example, this video has multiple camera angles which follows the prompt properly and also delivers results that look more like a short film. But how does it stack up to some of the best AI video generators out there? If we take a look at the leaderboard, we can see that Seedance has taken the #1 spot in both text-to-video and image-to-video department compared to Google VEO3.
It's owned by ByteDance. So yeah, ByteDance is that Chinese company. So I don't know. I feel like right now I've been using VEO3 and Sora, especially for the kind of 8-second clips for like ads and whatnot, and it has good audio. So yeah, I'm excited to see how it compares.
And yall O2. Now these are some big companies that have been in the game for a long while. So the big question is, now we can finally try out Seedance. How will it stack up against Google VEO3 and yall O2? What sets Seedance apart from the competition is its ability to create multi-shot video generation with perfect consistency, all from a single prompt. This means that anyone can create cinematic results like this without a degree in prompt engineering. In this video, I will show you how you can create videos using Seedance Lite and Seedance Pro. Then I will show you an image to video comparison between Google VEO3 and yall O2. And lastly, I will dive into the pricing to see if this tool is actually worth your hard-earned money. You can access Seedance directly through Seedance website, but in my case, we are using OpenArt because with OpenArt you can access Seedance Pro, VEO3, and all other image and video.
That's actually pretty insane. I feel like someone should create the same kind of web app, but for AI callers. So like combining Vappy, Synthflow, Retail, all those platforms, and then you kind of choose which one you want to use to actually create your agent. Because right now, depending on the updates that come out, it's like you have to constantly change softwares depending on which is the most like best up-to-date one for the task you're trying to do. So I feel like that's a good idea. If you don't know what to get started into in AI, definitely check out this opportunity.
Generators all in one tool. If you want to check this out for yourself, I will leave a link in the description down below. Once you're on the OpenArt home screen, click on video. Here you have two different options. You can use the text to video or you can use the image to video model. I will show you how to use image to video later. So now let's select the text to video option. On the select model, you can select all the most popular AI video generators.
Like that's pretty cool. Like you just put your prompt, everything, you build your prompt, and then you just choose with which version you want to like bring it to life.
But in this case, we will be selecting the model Seedance 1.0. Inside the settings, we will choose Pro. It will cost you 4 times more credit, but it will give you the best results. In the text box, we can write in a prompt and even attach sound to it, but it is not as good as Google VEO3. So now let's see how good the text to video.
Okay, so Seedance doesn't do the voice, the sound, so yeah, probably already less pertinent and less useful right there and then, but let's see the actual video. How does it look like?
Seedance actually are. The prompt for the first text to video is that Porsche Decor tears through a dusty desert road as the camera moves from a close interior view to a high-speed drift shot, then to a...
Yeah, I'm sorry. This just doesn't look like a Porsche Decor at all. Like, this is like a Porsche Decor. Isn't that the 911 version off-road? Yeah. Versus this looks like a SUV Macan, even though it doesn't look like a Macan at all. So It's not super accurate.
Dramatic head-on angle, all wrapped in a gritty cinematic vibe with sunlight, dust, and rally-style motion. I really like how smooth the driving is. It honestly feels like something out of a car commercial.
Yeah, that's cap. Like, this doesn't look anything like a car commercial. I'm sorry, Dan.
I just wish it showed more of the car inside at the start, like hands on the wheel. But overall, it looks awesome.
No, it doesn't.
Moving on, we go to the second prompt. A teenager sprints through a narrow alley, splashing through puddles as the camera follows low in front and then cuts to a smooth overhead shot as he slips around a corner but keeps running. It looks very fast and intense. However, these splashing puddles made the road look a bit weird. But overall,
I mean, the kid is kind of running a bit funny, but at least it's a bit more accurate than the last one. Because the last one, I mean, full on is just not the right car model.
Looks like a cool movie scene. Okay, so prompt number 3. I want to generate a prompt that looks like it came from a Natural Geographic scene. A small bird lands on a wooden fence, pauses and tilts its head, then suddenly flies upward and exits the frame as the camera holds its side angle. This one turned out great. The bird landing...
I mean, whoa. So I don't know how Dan is actually, like, rating these as great, because it would be great for example, like an animation movie, like a short animation film, something for kids. But if the goal is to look like an actual real bird on a real fence, this doesn't look anything. Like, this looks cartoony. It's crazy.
It felt natural, but the way it flew looked a bit off and kind of funny. Still, it brought the prompt to life.
So I don't know what he's kind of rating with these. Like, it's pretty cool that it's able to generate something like this from literally 2 sentences. But in regards to actually being useful to, for example, create like realistic, like if it was filmed with a camera, short films, this doesn't look like National Geographic at all, you know?
Really well. Okay, so for the last text to video prompt, 2 kids explore an attic, opening a dusty trunk to find an old photo, then quietly share a moment of wonder as one turns it over and the other leans in. This one came out great. The attic scene feels calm.
Yeah, this one is probably the best, like realistic wise, like I could see this being actually filmed with a camera for sure.
Calm and magical, though the photo spin at the end looked a bit glitchy. Overall, still a strong result. Moving on, I want to see how good Seedance is compared to Google VEO 3 and Halo. To keep it fair, I will only compare it based on image to video capabilities. So all of these images are generated in OpenArt using FluxDev. Let's see how each of the video generators performs in terms of prompt coherence and quality of the video. The first one starts off with a black motorcycle speeding down a desert road at sunset, with the camera following close beside it before swinging behind to reveal the open landscape. So with Seedance, the video starts off by tracking the bike really well and stays consistent with the prompt, but the only issue is we don't see the rider's head in the beginning of the shot. Otherwise, I love it. So now let's compare it to Hilo. The video starts off with a slow-mo shot, then the camera...
Yeah, the camera's kind of awkward on this one at the start.
Cuts to the side profile tracking the bike and then smoothly lets the bike ride into the horizon. I would also mention it also had the same problem as Seedance, where the camera doesn't show the whole rider. Okay, let's see Google VEO 3. Now the rider took a U-turn, which was interesting, and I do like the smoothness of the transition. Overall, this one would go to Seedance, Google VEO 3.
No way. I would definitely say... I would probably put VEO 3 first, I'm not gonna lie, like this was pretty smooth.
Let's see Google VEO 3. Now the rider took a U-turn, which was interesting, and I do...
Like, that literally almost looks realistic versus Seedance. I mean, Seedance was also good. They were a bit tied, like Halo was definitely the worst. But to put Google VEO 3 in last is a bit cap, I feel.
Like the smoothness of the transition. Overall, this one would go to Seedance, Google VEO 3, and then Halo, in my opinion. Okay, prompt number 2. The shot starts with a young Chinese woman standing in a dim kitchen lit only by the fridge and streetlights. The scene cuts to her staring quietly, holding her phone with worry in her eyes and a heavy expression. So let's see how it does. Seedance starts off with a static shot of the woman typing on the phone, then it cuts to show what's on the phone. This part looks weird because the language on the phone is in what I think is Arabic, then it cuts back to the woman looking worried. This is really good as it showed everything I'm asking for.
No, this was horrible.
Then with Hailuo, the girl was looking at her phone and it glitched to what I think looked like she's ripping a wallet, so Hailuo didn't quite follow the prompt here. For the Google VEO 3...
Yeah, that was horrible as well. Because the key with this and why it's such a good like prompt to test it is, can the AI actually show emotion? That's the biggest thing, which AI has oftentimes the most problem with.
Video starts with the view of the women holding the phone, so it already didn't really follow the prompt. Then it cuts to the women looking anxious and worried, which I quite like the expression, but I noticed that women changed ethnicity. So this is where Seedance...
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, this doesn't look Chinese, this looks Indian. The emotion was probably the best here. I mean, this looks good like this, but in the actual video isn't good. So I'll probably give this one to Seedance, even though it wasn't that good at showing emotion. It technically respected the prompt
comes in
the
action
most.
with the character consistency, even with multiple shots generation. So my personal ranking would be Seedance in this case, then Halo, then Google VEO3. For number 3, we have a snowboarder in a dark jacket carving through fresh snow on a cloudy slope, with powder flying and pine trees in the distance captured in a cinematic side view. With Seedance, we have a snowboarder doing sick movements sliding down the snow. Nothing to complain about, as it looks really natural. I like this one a lot. Then we have Halo. I'm not quite sure why it was slow-mo, but again, like Seedance, the movement looks really fluid. And I like the snow effects as well. Then with VEO3, I think it looks a bit weird. The person looks shorter and I noticed the pants color changed to green. I also think there's a lack of movement in the video. So in this case...
Yeah, the Google VEO3 movements were weird. To be honest, I'd give this probably to Halo. Like, Seedance was good, but Halo was crazy.
Nothing beats Seedance, so Seedance won.
Okay, buddy. Okay, is he sponsored by Seedance or? No, he only seems to be sponsored by OpenArt, the software. Yeah, that's cap. If you have the link here, Seedance Pro. Yeah, he seems to be kind of sponsored because here, Halo was definitely better. It's crazy. Seedance isn't winning every single one. I
Halo
don't know.
2 and Google VEO3 is number 3. For the 4th prompt, 2 supercars race side by side through a neon-lit city at night, with a low front camera tracking their headlights before letting them speed past into the distance. For Seedance, I love how the lighting looks, the water splashes, and how fast the car feels, but there's a slight glitch where the orange car twitches unnaturally. However, Seedance followed the prompt quite well. For Halo, I'm not sure why it gave a static shot for the first few frames, but I do like the result. It reminds me of a game loading screen when it finally loaded and zoomed past
Yeah, that's true though. For kind of an introduction, let's say you open the game and it starts like that when you click play. That the colors are also better. Oh, it didn't respect the prompt as much, but it's better.
Quickly. The lights from the backlight look so sick. Google VEO3 has some tough competition on this prompt. It starts off strong with the best looking graphics out of the 3, especially the details to the buildings and
yeah, definitely
road. But it didn't quite get the prompt as the cars stayed in frame and did not speed into the distance. This is a tough one, but I think I will give it to Hilo, then Seedance, then lastly.
No. I mean, okay, man, they're not speeding past into the distance, but the graphics are 10 times better. Just look at the graphics in VEO3 versus Seedance. The lighting is all messed up here versus, this is well shot. There's no way.
VEO3. Let me know which one you prefer in this example. After all the comparisons, in my opinion, Seedance makes the best video generations. The only problem is that Halo and Seedance doesn't have audio generation. And it just so turns out Google VEO3 may be the best if you want the full package. But it all comes down...
Yeah, definitely. So, if you want audio, which most videos you do want audio, I don't know why the lighting kind of... So that's lighting, okay, guys? It's not... I'm not balding in certain spots. It's really the lights that I have here. But yeah, basically, VEO3 is definitely still the GOAT because it depends on the situation. Seedance was kind of better, maybe 50% of the time, 60% of the time in terms of raw image generation, video generation. But if it doesn't offer the sound as well, it's kind of useless.
...to pricing. because VEO3 is currently the most expensive one. Let's break it down. OpenArt is currently running a 50% off promotion with their annual subscription, which means if you subscribe to the OpenArt's Infinite plan during this period, you will be paying $28 per month. And that gives you 24,000 credits. Breaking down the math, it's about 1/6 of a cent per credit. Now let's compare that to the actual cost per 5-second video generation. Seedance Pro uses around 400 credits per generation, which equals about 46 cents. Halo uses 300 credits, costing around 35 cents per generation. Google VEO3, on the other hand, is significantly more expensive, coming in at roughly $2.91 per generation. And that number could vary depending on their latest price. The question is paying 6 times more for VEO3 compared to Seedance, or 8 times more for VEO3 compared to Halo worth it? I will leave that up to you. All of these tools by using the discount that I leave in the description down below. The real advantage of OpenArt is that you get access to all of them under one subscription, with a far more affordable credit-based system that scales with how much you create. If you want to learn more about OpenArt and how...
Once again, we need that for AI calling, AI SMS, all that stuff.
You can generate awesome images using AI, then click the video that's on the screen right now, and I will teach you how to use Flux content.
So overall, yeah, pretty solid. I don't think I'll be using Seedance. I think I'm gonna stick to Sora. He didn't compare Sora in this video, but like for the fact that you don't have any audio, like realistically, when are you gonna generate videos with zero audio? Unless you're maybe putting some kind of maybe sound, just like music in the background yourself afterwards when editing. But you know, it's not that much better to the point where it kind of justifies no sound. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel down below, and I will see you in the next video.